The Stevens Expedition. Note 1. Today we set our course from the settlement of Everfall to uncover all we can about these enchanting and yet very dangerous obelisks, I'm sure. I, Roger Henry Stevens, will lead this expedition. I am accompanied by two of the finest associates I could find on the island, Walter Mackay and Elias Anders. As the leader, I have tasked myself with documenting our journey for the future of our people, as well as recording all scientific observations and architectural measurements to be gained from this endeavor. Right about now, finding a draft animal is next to impossible. I have not seen an ox, a horse, or even a donkey since setting foot on this island. Animals do live here, of that I'm sure, just nothing you wouldn't rather eat than put to work. A rabbit won't do much use for me, carrying tools. Thus we will travel lightly, only carrying what we can fit on our backs. Our goal is to travel the circumference of the obelisk and if successful, gather a raiding party of strong adventurers and hunters to dive into the ruins, laying waste to all manner of filthy undead, and make a true inspection of the central obelisk. We have a detour planned for Windsword's settlement, in case our supplies run dry, or even just to rest if what we find becomes something we feel we can't handle. I plan to spend a few days at each obelisk, taking measurements and gathering plants and stone samples from each location to determine what differences are present at each one, if any. Our first destination is Orion. It's the closest obelisk to our current location, thus making the most sense to hit first. That being said, it is still about a 10 days journey. Let's hope my men are prepared. Note 2. We arrived at Octans today. No issues to note during our travel from Hydrus, except that I don't have any of my previous notes as we needed to conserve our stamina. I'm lucky. Nothing was too special about them. It seems earlier settlers have set up fortifications and a camp nearby. I thank the gods of Eternum for this. I can't imagine going back to sleeping in the dirt and being woken up by the moist morning dew and a dead fire. Dreams of the undead have been flooding my mind when I lay in this soil. I must be paranoid. I have spoken to Mackay and Anders to remind them we do not know what might be waiting for us on our journey, and that we can't let our guard down even to rest, though I know we all desperately need it. I am confident leaving collected samples at staged locations to gather at a later time, given our limited carrying capacity, is the correct thing to do. It's worth noting that the samples have been stored at the Hydrus obelisk, while my first bundle of notes were stored at the Draco obelisk. I must collect these upon returning. It's incredible. These structures are almost identical to the others found in previous expeditions, of course with the exception to weathering in different areas. This morning Mackay tied off a rope and climbed to the observation platform with nothing to show but a marvelous view. I could only sigh despite his excitement. The stones appeared to have been shaped with little to no use of tools. They may have been magically crafted. I will continue to investigate the area, but we must move out towards Delphinus soon. Note 3. Delphinus is showing no signs of having any special qualities from the last, except that there are no nearby threats, and travelers passing nearby with ease. I find this interesting. Up until now, Hydrus, Draco, and the Orion obelisks housed a number of guardians that would instantly attack provided we approached to investigate the site. We made short work of them, yet Delphinus and Octans seem to be completely uninhabited. I see no visible damage, no major alterations in the construction, though neither of them had an access point to the upper balcony like the three obelisks before them. Perhaps there is something on that level which attracts the guardians. Looks like Mackay will have to climb yet again, though after his excitement from the last climb, I'm fairly certain it won't take much convincing. We shall continue our journey and with luck, hope that we may find a clue to help us unlock the mysteries of these obelisks. Note 4. We have finally established a camp near Cygnus. Though it has not been easy, perhaps we should have headed south towards Windsword like we planned. I believe we may be in over our heads. We need more men. The guardians here seem different, somehow. Perhaps because this is the closest obelisk to the ruins, but the guardians here are much more aggressive than we have seen up until this point. I'm not much of a fighter, but I'll have to be. I've given Anders the night to rest. I can't have him dying on me from exhaustion. Mackay and I will take watch tonight. A few days have passed, but we so very desperately long for a return to Delphinus for relative safety once again. I hear the ringing of steel bouncing off bones. I must go. Stevens is dead. Mackay is dead. They lopped off my arm with a single swing, seemingly having little to no resistance whatsoever. It was seconds before the pain reached my core and I ran for my life, hiding in a crevice near the obelisk. I likely will die here. I don't understand. Anders and Mackay aren't coming back to life. We have all died a few times on this journey so far, but it was never even a concern to not come back. Maybe we have a set amount of resurrection, like a cat with 9 lives. Maybe it's the obelisk. Whatever the case, the team is dead. Permanently this time. I'm trapped here. Whoever may find these notes, you must read them and swear to yourself to never return to this godforsaken hellhole. Blood drips down the page.